Many thanks to the Vault of Awesome. You got this out to me immediately. And yes, I had a Gumby when I was a kid. 1971, 1972. And I had the Astronaut costume kit. And was just perusing Space Toy listings the other night. And there it was, and at a price that I could actually do something about. Guy is absolutely a fantastic seller. Go buy his toys. He knows exactly what he's doing. Shipped it in an impeccable manner. I got a note too. Right on, my dear. Yes, I told her that this was never going to be opened. It never will. Never, ever, ever to be opened. I had the set as a kid, including Gumby, and I'm gonna get a loose Gumby, and I'm gonna try to track down the loose pieces. Look at that; it's even unpunched. Lakeside Toys, division of Lakeside Industries, made in Hong Kong. Lakeside Toys logo, 1965. There's no Gumby figure. Gumby space helmet. I seem to remember Gumby's space helmet having a USA sticker on it. Maybe that was something I got from another toy. The helmet survived for years. Believe it or not, G.I. Joe would fit into that. I think having the chin guard split had something to do with it. But I used it with G.I. Joe. There's the belt. A pistol. And wait a minute. Why is this stuff looking so familiar? And that's what made me stop. Now, I've wanted one of these for a while, you know, because I'm going to keep your note too. Never going to part with it. I'll probably go into the bag with it when I seal it up to put it on the ogle wall. So it's a Gumby astronaut adventure costume, space helmet, oxygen tank, walkie-talkie, astro ray gun, and a space belt. I believe it's for the 6-inch Gumby figures. Pretty sure the size of the helmet confirms it. I wanted to see it before I started, ordering stuff or whatever. Anyway, we'll track down the pieces. This is going to stay sealed. But this equipment looked familiar when I was going through it. And it's because of painting the MPC recasts. Sure enough, now that I've got it in my hand to compare it, it's a reduced sized version of what I guess is the Walkie-Talkie with the dials, hand unit, I guess, and the antenna. That's the exact same design. The cord's a lot shorter, which is interesting. But what is MPC, the maker of the 5.5-inch classic Spaceman figures, doing using Gumby's walkie-talkie design and his astro ray gun design? Reduced in size a little bit, and it's missing the, looks like a grabber or a handle accessory on the end. It doesn't have the flayed muzzle. Let's look at a recast too. There's an original, that's a recast. They're identical. Let's look at how the grip is designed on the pistol. It's somewhat different. There we go. Okay, so the pistol is not an exact match, but it's very, very close. And then the oxygen tank. You see, this is what first caught my attention, because I've been painting the oxygen tanks, and I had noticed a couple months ago. I don't know how long it was in quarantine when I was painting them, that there's two different kinds of designs for their oxygen tanks. There's a recast. You see, it's got the oval section on top. What I'm referring to here is the rectangular strip of plastic between the two oxygen tanks with the oval shape on top and then the dots underneath. And then 3 dots. It's different, but the way that the tank hose at the bottom is connected, and the belt, I'll show you in a minute, but all of my belts, most of the belts sadly on the recasts have split, but I'd noticed a couple of weeks ago that there were 2 different tank designs. That one has like 2 horizontal matches this one here, which I'd painted, 2 horizontal fixtures, and is different than that. And this is the one which better matches Gumby's oxygen tank. And I'm always hoping that these little subtle similarities or differences can help arrive at how to date figures. But you see, the recasts that I've got were issued with both kinds of oxygen tanks. So MPC apparently had these 2 variations on the tank in their mold when they were making these. Okay, Gumby's date of production here is 1965. I had 1963 or 1964 based on packaging that I've seen. I've been digging around to try to find the picture of it, but I do have an image of packaging of the 5.5-inch MPC Spaceman with I think it's a 1964 date on it. So 1963 or 1964 was when MPC was making their oxygen tanks, which look suspiciously like Gumby's oxygen tank from 1965. And if this isn't the strangest upload yet to my channel, I don't know what you're looking for. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention was sadly how the recast oxygen tank belts are all cracking. I think there's 1 or 2 that are still intact. This is of course an original in blue in this nice supple multiple toy makers 1960s plastic. The recasts, see the bottom there with the gray, same color as that. Recast made in Mexico, 1991, 1992, using a plastic more commonly used for filing cabinets, and it's not flexible. And actually last night, I don't know if you remember a video from, again, a few months ago already, but I had divvied up the recast equipment amongst my vintage pieces, and last night pulled it all out after realizing that because they're different kinds of plastic, if they're wrapped up together and touching each other, it could eventually result in plastic burn, and whoever again comes onto my estate and has provenance for it may not know someday to separate them out, and rather than sit here and waste plastic bags trying to rebag it, I just pull all of it. And I'm gonna equip the figures that I've been painting with the recast equipment as a way to sweeten the pot for Gumby. Now, who ripped off who? Did MPC plunder from Lakeside Toys, or was Lakeside Toys basing their designs on what MPC already had? Or was it the same designer working for both companies? And indeed, the variations on the pistol and the Walkie-Talkie hint that, you know, maybe it was the same designer. So because there's a subtle bit of difference between the two forms, and there are others from the MPC Spaceman kits that are not included in this Gumby set, I think that helps bear out the suggestion that it's the same designer who was simply working for two different companies. Used a common design to fulfill both projects. How about that? Changed slightly for the nature of the figures. All sorts of interesting things to think about, do web searches on. Let's hear it for Gumby. Damn it.